Hello, everyone. My name is Benjamin Fair. Thank you so much for joining me today to look a little bit more into detail about China and really focusing on technology and universities in China. So thank you firstly to GEMS Education for giving me this fantastic opportunity. I'm very fortunate to have been collaborating with GEMS for the last few years. And today we're really going to firstly look a little bit at China as a country and also look at the options that you have for universities with a focus on technology. So of course, because today we don't have a lot of time, I really do urge you to please take down my email address, which you can see here on the screen. And please feel free to write me any questions that you might have about university choices, about tuition, about scholarships. Please remember as a GEMS student that we do have guaranteed scholarships for all students that apply through us. So we do have a great opportunity there. You might also want to know any questions about something that I've mentioned today that I wasn't very clear on. So please do take the time to write down my email address. As I mentioned, I'm the managing director of China Campus Network. I'm also a global partner and trainer with Alibaba. So Alibaba, of course, is one of China's primary top 5 companies, which is now a huge global company which really dominates in the e-commerce marketplace, which of course is all about business and technology. So we will talk a little bit about that today as well. So before we go into that, let's have a look at the country of China and at CCN, or China Campus Network. So we are essentially a university consortium of 38 leading Chinese universities that are based within 4 major cities in China. You can see Harbin in the top northeast, Beijing, which of course is the capital, Shanghai, which is on the coast and is the financial capital, and then of course you have Xi'an, which is the cultural center of China. Now, within these 38 universities, we run our own CCN IFP, or foundation program, within 10 of these universities. So all of our international students, of which now we have about 3,000, all of these students are essentially international students that come to China, where they'll be studying between 1 to 1.5 years of a foundation Chinese language program, after which time the students then enter into one of our university partners in China. We will talk a little bit about that, but primarily 97% of the students that finish our university foundation program are placed into one of our partners. So we basically have a 97% success rate for our students who complete our program and are now in Chinese universities, out of which 87% of our students are on one type of scholarship. Now, again, if you're interested in scholarships, please do get back in touch with me at another time. Now, let's quickly look at technology, but also let's look at engineering and science programs, because within the universities that we represent, there are multiple different programs across many different streams. In fact, we would say we have close to 12,000 different university degrees that are on offer throughout our 38 university partners. So that really shows that there is a lot of options for you. However, in our foundation program, students are simply asked to let us know which stream of foundation they would like to go into. So all engineering students are in one stream, science students in another, humanities, which includes visual arts, communication, journalism, they're in one group, and then of course business students are in a separate group. So the reason that we divide the students out like this, of course, is in order to make sure that each student is getting a fully comprehensive preparation for their university degrees in the foundation program. So of the 38 universities that we represent that are part of our consortium, 4 of those are in the top 100 by Times Higher Education rankings and the QS rankings, and 16 are globally in the top 250 universities. Now, these are the names of the universities. Of course, many students may not know a lot of these universities, but in fact, China has more universities now than even the United States. So the United States, we know, has about 3,500 universities approximately. 2,800 universities approximately. China has about 3,500, 3,500. So that's a great thing, but it also means that many of them might be less ranked than others. So we really want our students to make sure that the universities that they're attending are those that have been fully globally recognized, as well as internationally and domestically approved. So that's what we really look at with our universities. And these are the categories of universities. It might be interesting to note that within China as well, there are also ranking systems, of which the 985 ranking and the 211 ranking are the 2 primary ranking systems. And all our universities have been ranked within these primary ranking scales in China as well. Now, if you are currently in year 12, or even if you're in grade 11, preparation is, of course, absolutely key when you're looking at universities in any country, but particularly in China, because you do need to learn the Chinese language as well. So here we have quite a basic step-by-step process, which we like to talk about when we're looking at universities in China. The first and most primary preparation step is the language. So if you are in grade 11, you should, or even grade 10, you should now be starting to look at enrolling into some of the online Chinese language programs. We do offer these now with GEMS as well, which is an excellent opportunity for you to start to look at the Chinese language seriously. I'll talk a little bit about that later. But if you're in grade 12, you do not have enough time to really be taking any extra subjects at the moment because you're concentrating on your 12th grade. That's absolutely fine. But you still are able to still come to China, take your full program in China itself. Or if, for example, this September, you're unable to get a visa and come to China, maybe because of restrictions with travel, we of course do have an online digital campus as well that you can access from your home as early as now if you're coming for this year. The application process is free because you're a GEM student, and we apply to 3 universities for you as well off our program list. The next step, of course, is to finish your high school, get all of your procedures, all of the other documents that are required sent in to us. You've got my email address already, and that would essentially come through. Now, the IFP, or the International Foundation, is between 1 and 1.5 years in length, depending on how much Chinese knowledge you already have. If you don't have any Chinese knowledge, then of course you would need to take a little bit more of the program as well. Scholarships, I'll talk to you a little bit about later. After you finish the foundation, you would then enter into first year of your 4-year bachelor's degree. We also guarantee 2 internships through your program in China as well. So the journey of the IFP student or the foundation student really starts as early as you can, because as soon as you enroll with us, you then get access to our online digital campus. That'll give you all of the resources you need to even start preparing the Chinese language as early as you need. And then after or post IFP, after you finish the IFP, you can also stay in touch with us, as we will also be able to provide extra free tutorial support for all our CCN students after they graduate as well. We have, as I've said previously, so many different choices of undergraduate degrees, with over 3,000 students from all around the world, including here in the Middle East, that have chosen to come through the CCN program so far. And as I said previously, we're now running with the Zayed University and the Confucius Institute, we are running online after-school Chinese. It's already started, and we will be increasing the class numbers as we move through each month. The next class is starting in the middle of February. These classes are not too heavy. It's usually 4 hours per week of classes, so 2 hours twice a week. Then on the weekend, we run a China booster class, which goes into a little bit more detail about universities, about technology, about many other subjects as well. Most importantly, though, by taking one semester of our Chinese language program, you're able to secure one level of the HSK. The HSK, of course, is the Chinese language equivalent to IELTS or TOEFL. And by getting yourself familiarized with the language early, it ensures even greater success in China. Plus, you may even have the opportunity of gaining credits toward your foundation year with us. Okay, so we've talked about the foundation very briefly, but due to time, I do want to move on to looking at technology. And when I say technology, I'm really focusing on technology and you as a student. So here you can see a lovely landscape of Shanghai, which of course is the technology capital of China. And you know, when we look at sort of technology and we're focusing on you, one thing to really think about is the World Economic Forum. The reason that is that the World Economic Forum every year meets. In fact, they're meeting right now. Right now is in sort of this week, but of course it's a virtual event this year. But the World Economic Forum is a great opportunity for governments and leading bodies, leading private institutions, as well as entrepreneurs to meet together and discuss technology. And what did they find quite recently in 2016? Well, they found that the generation which is now in high school level, once they have finished university and are looking to be employed in careers, many of them will be in careers that are still yet forming, still not even ready to be actual careers. So that means for you as students now more than ever, it's really important to start to think beyond the curve, to start to think about what is the new wave of technology which is coming in. And again, as I said, the WEF, the World Economic Forum, if you look at the declining roles, the declining career prospects compared to the ones that are emerging, there's one major trend. I don't know if you can see that, but if you look at the careers that are declining, you'll see that these are administrative roles. Whereas the ones that are emerging, what can you see from the ones that are emerging? If you have a look at these top 10 emerging roles, you can see that there's one thing that they all have in common, right? And that is technology. So technology is inevitably an absolutely crucial part in both your studies at university, but also your careers after university as well. Now, this really leads me to talk about this, which was first termed in the World Economic Forum in 2016 by the CEO and owner and creator of the World Economic Forum. And that's really the fourth industrial revolution. So of course, the fourth industrial revolution moves on from the previous revolutions, and each industrial revolution created a new energy for industry. So it started in the 1700s with steam, the 1800s with the invention of electricity. All of these things built industry. And then finally, in the 1950s and 60s, we had computers. And computers, of course, changed how industry builds. Now we're looking at the new industrial revolution, which is what they're calling connectivity or connectedness. And these are the main focuses of Industry 4.0, or the fourth industrial revolution. Now have a look at the names of some of these terms. I'm sure all of these are things that you're familiar with, but please do remember that when you are choosing a university for your studies, you should really be looking at programs that incorporate as many of these subjects as possible. And you might think to yourself, well, I want to do journalism. How can journalism have anything to do with, cloud computing or cybersecurity? Or maybe you want to do a business degree. How can that be so? Well, in fact, I'm here to tell you that not only in China, but really in most great universities around the world, even subjects like business now are no longer just finance or just economics or just accounting. They include e-commerce. They include big data management. They include IoT or Internet of Things. And if they do not, I would strongly suggest that you look at options that do, because this will really enable you to really ride the wave of technology which is coming with the fourth industrial revolution. So let's have a look at business and e-commerce, for example. As I mentioned before, Alibaba is the world's largest e-commerce platform. We're very lucky at China Campus Network that 16 of our 38 universities offer an e-commerce degree, which in fact allows you guaranteed internships and exposure with Alibaba as a company. If you're interested in business, please do let me know. I can help you to get in touch with some of these universities and give you more of an idea. But globally, e-commerce trend is on the rise. So it's a really, really important and valuable part of the business stratosphere. As I said, this is an example of one of our universities. This, in fact, is where I did my master's degree in China. And this one here is called Harbin Institute of Technology, HIT. HIT is still ranked in the top 250 universities in the world. It's an excellent option. And they're connected with Alibaba as well to do a degree in what we call cross-border e-commerce. So this is essentially business with technology across the world, cross-border e-commerce. Now, Alibaba as a company, very quickly, is not just a marketplace. As you can see here, we call Alibaba an ecosystem. Similar to other large companies like Google, Alibaba is a company now that incorporates so much more than just buying and selling. If you look here, you'll see that there are many different companies. And the reason for you as a student why this is important is that even if you wanted to do a finance degree, you could still do your internship with Alibaba and work in Ali Finance, which is now larger than all of China's banks combined. Ali Finance is digital financing, and that's all done on your handset as well. Now, these are other degrees that I was wanting to talk to you about. If you look specifically at mechatronics or IoT engineering, you'll start to see that there's some really important differences and tech in key industries. So these are some of the different industries that technology is absolutely vital and so important within. And I'll just quickly show you, of course, if you look here, we've got China's largest companies, Alibaba, Tencent, Baidu, which is like Google, and Huawei, of course. These companies are all tech giants. Now here, if you look at a comparison globally of 10 years ago to 2018, again, you can see the top global companies now compared to 10 years ago are again, all companies that are focused on technology. So yet again, it just shows you the absolute importance of really focusing on technology in any country that you decide you want to go into. So I'm going to show you very quickly an example of a couple of different degrees and how different they are in China, for example. So robotics or mechatronics, or even if you are thinking of doing engineering, mechanical engineering, mechatronics is a couple of levels above standard engineering in that it involves things such as, mechatronics, large-scale robotics, drone technology, all of these things, and of course biological medical equipment technology, all of these things together are what's so important about mechatronics as a degree. This is industrial robotics, which is also part of the mechatronics field. And then the last one I wanted to quickly look at is IoT. Now, IoT is the Internet of Things engineering, which is a really important new technology, which involves, of course, artificial intelligence with big data management. So these are very important degrees that are also such valuable parts of your program when you are studying with us. China is, of course, the world's largest IoT market, Internet of Things engineering market. And what does that mean for you as a student? Well, to be perfectly honest, if you look at universities now that I'm mentioning to you, talking about technology, Chinese universities have had so much investment into technology that even now, if you compare them with more traditional universities around the world, undergraduate students now are getting access to much better technology, much more modern equipment in these Chinese universities that I'm talking about, the higher ranked ones, just because the universities are investing so much into these new technologies for their students. Now, IoT has so many different functionalities: smart traffic, healthcare, logistics, security, retail. All of this together is specifically related to Internet of Things engineering. So if this is something that does interest you, please do get in touch so we can have a little bit more of a chat. Big data, again, is another one of these kind of programs, which again is a huge and very important leading program or undergraduate program that we do offer. And all large companies around the world are now needing big data managers as well. So on that note, of course, I just wanted to say thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to take part in today's forum. As I said, I'm always available to have a chat, to have a greater, more in-depth discussion. My WhatsApp is also here as well. You can see that below my email address. You can see my WhatsApp details are there. Please do get in touch with me if you have questions about China, if you have questions about the scholarship opportunities that we have, or about the universities. Maybe you'd like to understand more about the Chinese language itself. We are also running more sessions for free on Saturdays with GEMS. So please do keep in touch through email, and I'll be able to send you links to when we have new seminars and sessions online. For now, thank you very much. And I hope to see you all in China very soon. 谢谢大家，谢谢。